Okay, and welcome to this tutorial from the I9Forum. I've had several emails and PMs recently over screensavers and how we create them, so I thought I'd just take a few minutes to show you. It's very simple, quite straightforward. I'm going to be using Photoshop. Obviously any other graphics program will do. I'm using Photoshop CS3. I'll show you the sort of thing we're going to create. This is the sort of thing, something very simple, something that we could just simply throw together in a few minutes and then send over to our phone. And obviously use a screensaver, you can use pictures, use anything you like. Okay, so let's just get rid of that for the moment. And let's start off. Okay, so I'm going to go to File and New. This is the important part, the size, the dimensions that we're going to actually have that image. And it's actually 320 by 480. So I'll type in 320 by 480, and that's pixels, by the way. Got a resolution of 90. Obviously the higher the resolution, the bigger the file, but the clearer the image. The lower the resolution, smaller the file, but more pixelated it'll get. So I'm going to leave it around about 90. And I've got the background at the moment set to transparent. I just hit OK, and in a second, there we go. We've got our plain piece of paper, I like to think of it about. Okay, so the first thing to do is going to colour the background. So I'll click onto one of the colours over here. You can see the red and the blue, the foreground and the background. Hit on the red, which is the foreground, and I'm just going to slide down to pick a black up and make sure that the RGB is saying 000, so that definitely means I'm black. Click that. Okay, and next thing we're going to do then is select the background colour, and I've got a blue at the moment, just to show you. There we are. And that blue's fine for the moment, so we're going to use that. And now go to the graduation tool, which is on the toolbar or the tool palette on the side there. And normally you'll see it with a bucket. To get the graduation out, you just simply right click that particular tool, and you'll see then that you've got a selection there that you can choose from. And I'll go for the graduation tool. And just simply now click and drag from the bottom to the top, and I should have a nice graduation form. There we are. Okay, next thing now to do is just simply put in some logo or an image or whatever you want it to do. And to do that, I'm actually going to create a new layer over here on the layers palette. So just click for a new layer. You can see that layer 2 has been created, and I know I'm using it because it's highlighted at the moment. Okay, next thing to do now is go back over to my tool palette and select T for text, and at the very top here you can see that there's black showing as the colour. Well, I don't want that, I want some sort of red. So I click the colour, go and slide up for a red, and that's fine. Okay, click onto the screen and just simply type in the I9Forum logo. I9Forum. Back to the pick tool over here on the tool palette, and now I can move that particular text around. Just going to resize that. Let's make it look a little bit bigger. There we go. I like saying that's fine. Just going to make it look a little bit more jazzier by giving it some drop shadow. So back over to the layers palette here, click on the FX, which means special effect, and hit drop shadow. And you can see there we have this particular menu appear, and I can mess around with the sliders if I want to try and get the ultimate effect for the drop shadow. Or I can just simply come over here to the drop shadow itself, click and drag, and put the drop shadow where I want. So I'm going to have it say somewhere like that, and that's okay. So now that we're happy with that particular image, and that's the image we want to use on our phone, we now go up to File and we need to save it. Now here's a bit of advice: don't use save or save as, because they'll create images that are slightly larger than we actually need. We're going to save for web and devices. We'll still get a very high quality image, but very small file image size, and it's used really, this particular function is used really for creating graphics for websites, but it works great for our phones. So hitting save for web and devices, we have a new window turn up, and it shows us then our image and gives us some selections down here. So first of all, JPEG. We can select quite a few different formats, but I'm going to stay with JPEG. You say it's optimized, so it's going to make it look the best it can. And the quality, at the moment it's set for 89. Obviously the better the quality, again the higher the image. And if you want to know how big that particular image is going to be, or the file size, if you look down towards the left hand corner, you can see there that it's telling us it's a JPEG. It's 20.17K, and if it was to be viewed on the internet, it would take 8 seconds to download at 28K. So we know that's quite a decent size, nothing too chunky for the phone. I just go ahead now and hit the save button at the top, and it asks me where I want to save it, and I'm going to save it in a new folder eventually when it starts up. There we go, and I'm going to call that folder I9Forum, just so that I know where I'm keeping it. And I should call that particular file I9-1, and it's saving it as a JPEG. Okay, that's the image now saved. All I'd need to do now is go to that particular folder which I created, make sure my phone's connected as a mass storage device, and obviously when I do that I see two drives appear on my computer. I pick the one which is the memory card, and I just simply copy the file over, and then it's just the usual case of going through on the phone, finding the image and saying you want to use it as a screensaver. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of this particular tutorial. I hope it's been of some use. I know it's been a little bit rushed. Obviously, if there's more tutorials you'd like to know about or things you'd like to see, do drop me a PM or pop it into the suggestions in the forum, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, well, thank you very much, and see you